Hello you guys and welcome to the renting shop. I am Melissa and today we're gonna quickly discuss Chris Harrison from the Bachelor franchise and his thoughts on Rachel KirkConnel, who is a current contestant on Matt's season, and his problematic stance, his problematic words, his problematic approach, everything was problematic. We're gonna discuss that. Now if you don't know, Rachel KirkConnel is currently on Matt's season, as I said previously, and she has been accused of some racist behavior, including attending a lady antebellum or the old South kind of ball, country ball, that has or had lots of racist undertones, and is as a result very problematic. And the fact that she's on a season with a black bachelor, it makes these issues even more serious and even more pertinent to discuss. Now, let's just now dive into what Chris had to say. He had an interview recently with Rachel Lindsay. Now, if you don't know anything about The Bachelor, Rachel Lindsay was the first ever black bachelor. And I believe Rachel's season was, don't quote me, maybe 2016 or 2017. I'm not quite sure. But prior to her, there had been no, when I tell you no, zero minority leads ever on that show. And some white people like to say that, oh, well, Juan Pablo is a minority. Juan Pablo is not a minority. Juan Pablo is a Spanish-speaking white person. So for people to say that he's a minority, you're really like pulling at straws here, because he's not. He's a white person at the end of the day. Okay? So they were just continuing on their regular Bachelor white season with a Spanish-speaking white person, and I guess they thought that that would give their season a bit of diversity, but really it did nothing because he's white. So he sat down with Rachel Lindsay and he was discussing the issue with Rachel KirkConnel. So what I'm gonna do is just break down a couple of points I found that were quite jarring of him to even mention, and just give my own little opinions about each. So this is in no particular order. So the first thing that I noticed was that he kept saying that he's not defending her. He's not defending her. I'm not defending her. I'm not defending her. But yet still continued to defend her. So this whole interview was him defending her. As much as he's saying he's not defending her, that's what he was doing. Okay, so that's one thing. He's contradicting himself. Another thing was he kept minimizing the issue. The issue at hand is that she attended or has been doing a lot of racist activity. Okay, including attending the little country ball. Now, people like to act as if liking something doesn't mean anything. Do you like something for no reason? When you go on Instagram and you're scrolling through the page, do you just randomly like things? Is that how people do it? Or do you just like things that you agree with? At the end of the day, as much as people like to minimize certain things like liking posts, it is very important and it's very telling of where your mindset is. If you're liking posts about racist behavior, it means that there's something that post said that you agree with. If there's a post where I'm liking Black Lives Matter, it means it's something that I'm agreeing with. People don't just blindly and absently like things. We can't make this a minimal thing. We can't make this a small situation. It's a big deal. When you like things on social media, it means you agree with whatever the person has posted. You think that it's true. You want to show your support to whatever it is that person posted, so you like it. It's a show of support at the end of the day. And she is a grown female. So with the exception of, I guess, scrolling through social media incoherent and drunk and just liking anything, or with somebody having your Instagram page and just liking stuff, that's different. But my assumption is she liked it on her own. That was her doing because she wanted to do it. And until she comes out and says she wasn't the one who liked it, somebody hacked her page, or her friend liked that, or she liked it by mistake, multiple times may I add, then I am not believing that it was somebody else's fault. I believe she liked it because she agreed with whatever it was. Another thing he tries to do by diminishing the situation is acting like it happened 5 years ago.
You know, I saw a picture of her at a sorority party 5 years ago, and that's it. Like, boom, like, okay, well, this girl is in this book now, and she's now in this group. And I'm like, really? Okay, well, there goes.
The picture was from 2018 at an Old South antebellum party. So I think, you know, when you
hold that under the lens.
It's not a good look.
No.
And Rachel Lindsay rightfully corrected him and told him it was 2 years ago. It happened in 2018, which is very recently. So he's trying to minimize the thing, saying it's 5 years ago, as if 5 years ago it still wouldn't have been a bad thing. And we see throughout the interview that that's what he keeps on doing. He keeps acting as if because it happens in the past, it happened in the past, that means it's not important. That means it's not supposed to be scrutinized, because back then it wasn't scrutinized.
It's not a good, well, Rachel, is it a good look in 2018 or is it not a good look in 2021?
It's
because
not a good look ever, because she's celebrating the Old South. If I went to that party, what would I represent at that party?
I don't disagree with you. You're 100% right in 2021. That was not the case in 2018. Again, I'm not defending Rachel. I just know that, I don't know, 50 million people did that in 2018 between, you know, it's like that was a type of party that a lot of people went to. And again, I'm not defending it. I didn't go to it.
When at the end of the day, back then, I'm pretty sure it was scrutinized. Trust me, 2018 is not that far back, right? And somebody in the comment section posted that party or ball that she attended, right? That whole ball had been banned since 2016. And she went to it in 2018. So it had to have been banned for a reason. And for you to continue to attend, it speaks a lot about you and your moral compass, especially at that time. How could you excuse that? What can you say that could possibly excuse that behavior? Chris, of course, is trying to defend her, but I don't see where it is that you can defend her. He's trying to say she was 18. She wasn't 18. And even if she was 18, I need to go on a little tangent here. One of my biggest pet peeves is people that act as if age is an excuse for dumb behavior. They're always mentioning, oh, she's young. Oh, she didn't know. Oh, poor girl. Come on, we need to cut that. We need to stop doing that. The law made 18 a legal age for a reason, because the law believed that you are rational enough to make sensible decisions. If they didn't believe that you were rational at that age to make rational decisions, it would probably increase the age of legality to maybe 21. So for people to keep going on that weak argument of, oh, she was young, I just feel like you're using that argument because you don't have any other substantial argument to use. The moment you go on someone's age and say that person was young, your argument is just trash at that point. Because I believe that at 18 years old, you have common sense. You know very well what you're doing. You know very well what you're getting yourself into. And for Chris to make that argument and say, oh, she was 18, oh, it was 5 years ago, all untrue. So you can't use her age as an excuse for her ignorance. It simply is not. In this world of everybody has smartphones, everybody has access to the internet, you're still doing things that are so backward. It's on you. It's because you want to be backward. It's not because you're so young. Come on, we need to stop that. Stop using people's age as an excuse for their stupid behavior or ignorance. Age has nothing to do with it. The person chose to be ignorant if they were. It was 2018. It wasn't 1915. It wasn't 1910. And even then, I'm pretty sure they would know in their hearts that it would be wrong. So there's no excusing that behavior. Bear in mind, this whole interview is not giving Rachel much time to speak in between. He's not giving Rachel a lot of time to clarify. He's not giving Rachel a lot of time to speak. He's trying to speak over her, and he wants to speak the entire time.
That's the I think that's the problem is you're right. We weren't looking through those lenses, and we should have been. And just because it was a popular party,
wrong.
and just...
This is not a conversation. This is a lecture. But who are you lecturing? You already have two things wrong. He's coming in all defensive and stuff, which was not necessary because Rachel's whole demeanor was very welcoming. She was trying to be as welcoming as possible, considering the topic is a very touchy one. It's a very serious one. She was being quite open and allowing him to express himself. But he was doing too much.
Then we can have our say. But I'm not sure why we are in such a hurry to throw this poor woman at the bottom of the river.
It's been 6 weeks. We've known about these allegations have been attached to Rachel since Matt's season started, which was in January.
But when do you jump in? When is the time? And who is Rachel Lindsay? And who is Chris Harrison? And who is whatever woke police person out there? Who are you? And I've heard this a lot of like, I think she should. I think he should. Who the hell are you?
We're fans of the franchise, and we'd like to believe that the contestants are good people. That's why we're so anxious to know what she has to say. This thing is not new. Right? This thing is not new. She has a lot of time to come out and explain, and she hasn't. We all know why.
Right? Is it wrong? The woke police is out there, and this poor girl, Rachel, who has just been thrown to the lions. I don't know how you are equipped when you have never done this before to be woke enough, to be eloquent enough, to be ready to handle this. And
poor girl and poor this. Poor girl what? We're not poor girling her. Please, we're not poor girling her. Okay? She's not a poor girl. She did what she did, and all people are asking her to do is to explain why she did it. And that's it. There's no poor girl in this. And somebody said something very important when I was scrolling through the comments. The person said when Chris Harrison called her poor girl, what he was doing was kind of making her the victim in that situation. Okay? And by making her the victim, you're now making everybody else the villains when nobody did anything wrong. All we're doing is trying to make her hold herself accountable for her actions. But you're calling her poor girl. By saying or calling her or referring to her as a poor girl, what you're doing is you're changing the narrative and making her the victim. And because she's now the victim, that means that it kind of absolves her of explaining herself. But no, she's a poor girl to you, she's not a poor girl to us. What about the falling in love with Matt issue or the Black Bachelor issue?
Where is the narrative of her falling in love with Matt? And where is that in this social conversation we're having? Where is it if she falls in love with a black man in all of this? I don't know. You tell me. I don't have these answers.
I'd want to hear from Matt. I would want to hear from Matt. I almost honestly would direct my questions to him. I would say, like, we know he likes her. We have no idea how this is all going to play out. But hypothetically speaking, if there's a hometown, if, like there's a fantasy suite and they have these questions, we don't know what Matt knew in that moment. But now we do know what he knows. I'd want to hear what he...
One thing I would say to that is her liking a black man does not mean that she's not racist. And I need people to understand that, especially white people, because they seem to not understand this. You liking a black person does not mean you're not racist. Black men are sexualized every day. Every race wants the tall, dark, handsome, muscular black man. That doesn't mean they're not still racist towards other black people. So I didn't know where that argument was going. And she said she'd want to hear from Matt about the situation. Me too. Of course he'll defend her if that's the girl he picks. And people believe that that's the girl he is going to pick. Of course he's gonna defend her. Until the person comes and explains themselves, that is what it is. He's trying to say, wait until she speaks, and then no, based on what we're reacting to what we've seen so far. And that warrants a strong reaction, I'm sorry. So that's the reaction you're getting, and the fact that she's taking so long to respond makes people more annoyed. And Chris is acting like he doesn't know it's because of the show producers telling her not to speak. Because I'm pretty sure if you're being accused of all these negative things, you'd want to speak up about it immediately. Telling her to wait because the show is still ongoing, and what the Bachelor show likes to do is whoever is the lead, the winner of the season, they like to give that person positive edits, nice music. They cut out all the negative parts of that person just so the viewers would fall in love with the person that the lead ends up with. And they want people to continue to fall in love with this Rachel. So of course they don't want this negative press about her. And they're gonna try to avoid it as much as they possibly can. Do you think it would be such a big deal if this girl was kicked off, is gonna be kicked off next week? No. It's a big deal because he's gonna end up with her. Right? So, he recently posted an apology. Basically, he was saying that he was just trying to get people to give her grace and show her some compassion, but what he ended up doing was almost seeming to be encouraging racist behavior. And he said that for that he apologizes, and he said some Bachelor Nation people held him accountable and I guess told him that he looked crazy during that interview, and so he apologized for it. Sometimes you have to see yourself, and sometimes people have to tell you about yourself for you to see how crazy you sound and how crazy you look with whatever it is that you're saying. He was so annoyed in that whole interview and aggravated with that whole interview. I just feel like it also has to do with himself. He feels like it's an attack on him. So that's why he's so defensive. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about Chris Harrison's interview with Rachel Lindsay. And another thing I'd like to add, a lot of people are hating on Rachel Lindsay. It's just infuriating to me. Why can't you see beyond the person that you dislike and see what the message that she's trying to bring forth to people? Why can't people do that? I don't understand. But anyways, like, subscribe, notification bell. and let me know what you think about Chris Harrison and his response to Rachel KirkConnel's accusations. Thank you. Bye. Happy Year of the Ox.